Hello and welcome to episode 5 of the Conveyancing Podcast. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Matthew, I'm your host today, and I'm joined again. It's good to be with you again, Thomas.
Hello, I'm glad to be here again. 5th episode now, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that's a milestone for us, isn't it?
Yeah, that means, 5 weeks doing podcasts then?
Yeah. Looking forward to number 10 now.
Yeah. That's the next one, and then number 20.
Please subscribe to stay connected with us and to get more weekly news. We're also available on the following platforms: YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Anchor FM, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and others. And also, I'd like to just make a disclaimer. We are not offering legal advice, but just an overview of the week's conveyancing news. So, Thomas.
All right, let's get into it. First article of the day comes, I think we always start with the Law Society Gazette. The Law Society Gazette. So this first article states the SRA staying pragmatic over conduct during UK lockdown. Give us an insight on this, Matthew.
Okay, yeah, of course, they're talking about the coronavirus lockdown, COVID-19, which obviously now we're in this, it's just started. And this is about the SRA. How are they going to regulate people who are working from home for their firms? I guess they're still going to investigate complaints that come to them by clients, and focus on whether there's been any misconduct. So, I guess, what do you think?
Yeah, essentially, it says here the regulators face criticism for its silence since the Prime Minister first announced restrictions on people's movement last week. The Bar Standards Board had published its own guidance on compliance within a day of Boris Johnson urging people to stay at home. Yeah, so essentially if you came to them with a problem and it talked a bit about coronavirus, or the problem had something to do with the coronavirus, they'd probably just say, look, we're probably having we are having a lot of problems at the moment with this whole coronavirus thing, so we're not going to focus on those sort of problems. They'll probably be focusing on other ones, if I'm not mistaken here.
I mean, when I first read it, I thought they were remaining pragmatic because they didn't have a sort of clear plan. But I think, yeah, it's like you say, they're gonna, if a complaint relates to something that's probably due to the coronavirus, then they will probably say to the client, give the solicitor a break because, it's difficult circumstances.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't really know yet whether the whole system's going to be closed down. If the banks close, nobody's going to be able to send payments. The whole chain could fall down if one part of it, if the estate agent's not open, the bank's not open, or the other side's solicitors aren't open. So
let's hope things don't get to that point in general.
Yeah, hopefully it's just a couple of weeks, but I know other parts of the world it's already been extended to a longer period of time.
Yeah.
So the SRA is going to keep its office open in Birmingham, and they encourage their staff to work from home. So I guess that's pretty much similar to what the lawyers are going to do. Law firms. Okay, well that's nothing pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah. So, moving on with the next article, this is we are revisiting something that we've already talked about in the past, which was the topic of the exams being delayed or cancelled for junior lawyers, or lawyers soon to be lawyers. And this article is, it states that the junior lawyers don't want to delay the exams. That's what they're telling the regulator.
Yeah, I think when we examined this last week or the week before, I didn't really see it from the junior lawyer's side, because I did think that the exams should be allowed to be taken online, because the technology should be mature enough to allow that. But I mean, if you've studied for years to do an exam and then it's postponed, then that's pretty bad, because you're going to have to relearn everything.
Yeah.
So I can understand why they're up in arms about this.
I feel like there are many ways they could do this. If we're talking about sort of like how an exam is in a normal classroom, if that's how they would do it, then it's easy. Even if it takes longer, it could take maybe over the span of 3 days. If it's that many junior lawyers, then they could try and make it so only a very limited amount of people go in at a time. They do the exam, finish, next people, and then they could keep doing that, so that there's not much of a risk for the coronavirus. I mean, that probably would be ideal. It is the easiest solution too. But maybe, on the other hand, it could be maybe a disadvantage for the people who go in first, because the other people can study a little longer. But I don't think that really matters. Well, a day or two is not going to...
Online would be easier. It would be reduce the risk. But it says here that the social distancing ban, the social distancing measures may not even have been lifted by the autumn, so students may not be able to sit the exams until 2021 or later. So, delaying them by a year, like I say, they have to study again, and also you're going to have a gap, and also they want to get into the job market. It might delay their furthering of their careers, their earnings potentials. I think it's bad news. So let's move on to another one from the Law Society Gazette.
This next one says that the SRA has banned 5 non-solicitors in a week over dishonesty. This one is very simple. These people have done, in my opinion, what I've seen, they've done some sketchy stuff, and that's led them to be banned. Like, for instance, here we have so this case here, for instance, it included a legal executive, Elaine Marshall, from West Midlands firm Waldron Solicitors Limited, who was dismissed following her attempts to cover up a mistake on a personal injury matter. I think this is the least hard, bad one, the least worst one. For instance, there's another one where a woman faked the emails and everything.
Yeah, this my first impression was I thought it was sort of non-solicitors acting as solicitors, but I realised it was like legal executives, paralegals, sort of not full solicitors, but people working inside regulated firms. And it's the one you were saying, the legal executive, she covered up mistakes in a personal injury matter, and this paralegal, he falsified letters to pretend that a matter was progressing when it wasn't. And I mean, it's not so much to do with conveyancing, but I guess, is this the state of things now? I mean, is it giving too much responsibility to unqualified or less qualified people? I don't know.
Less trustworthy, really, because they could be very qualified, but they just focus completely on the money, and maybe that allows them to slip up sometimes and misbehave in this way.
Yeah, the first one I'm not entirely understanding. It says she created a court claim form and court order and misled her client and colleagues as to the true nature of the settlement. She paid £1,200 from her own funds to increase the settlement, but when her employers became suspicious, she admitted to forging documents and acting dishonestly.
Oh.
I'm not sure what she actually paid out of her own money to the clients to pretend that she made them some money or something.
I guess I'm not entirely sure either.
Yeah.
It's very strange.
And then this legal secretary, legal assistant, Fiona Tegg at Reading Practice Turpin and Miller, she was barred from taking £342 from the firm after fabricating a bank receipt. Yeah, it's not 100% clear what, it tells you the amounts and roughly what they did wrong, but it's not fully clear.
No, not really.
I guess what happens, I mean, maybe they wanted to become solicitors eventually. Will this bar them from ever becoming a solicitor?
I guess so. I mean, it says they've been banned, and some of these things don't even seem like they're that bad, really. But I don't know. I'm not sure.
I don't know. Any if you take funds, it's just theft, isn't it? It tends to be theft. Apart from the guy who was just faking letters to pretend that there was progress. Like maybe he was. It's a woman. Sorry. Maybe she was worried that she just didn't want to let the clients down. I mean, that doesn't really seem like an offence, does it?
No, not really. I don't think she should have really been banned. I mean, I can see why she might, because some firms might take longer to do things, or like you said, she just doesn't want to let them down, so she decided to just keep making these letters.
I guess the trouble is, if you start tampering with the documents, she deleted stuff and she falsified stuff. I don't know. It is a bit strange. It's better to just leave the documents alone, no?
Yeah. Moving on, this next one's directly from the SRA, so this is Regulation Authority, and this one states that the SRA sets out its strategic priorities for the next 3 years.
Okay, and it looks as if they've been surveying members of the public and the profession, the legal profession, to gauge what is the best way forward for them for the next 3 years. They surveyed 150 members of the public and the profession, and they also did another survey of more than 400 solicitors and consumer representatives. So what they came up with, do you want to go through their three objectives?
Yeah, I can read them. So they have confirmed that there are 3 high-level objectives after everything that Matthew just said. The 3 high-level objectives are setting and maintaining high professional standards for solicitors and firms, as the public would expect, and ensuring that a commitment to excellent operational service and a positive customer experience is at the heart of all it does. The second one is actively supporting the adoption of legal technology and other innovation that helps to meet the needs of the public, business community, regulated entities, and the economy, And last but not least, the third one, continually building the SRA's understanding of emerging opportunities and challenges for the users of legal services, the legal sector, and its role in effectively regulating it.
Okay. So the first one is kind of like when people first registered to be in the SRA. I guess they maintain a database of their members, and they keep an eye on them, and I suppose they deal with any complaints that come in, just regulating. So that's pretty much what they already do, although I guess they're going to work on their standards and the way that the service that they're providing. The second one, I guess, they're looking at getting more technology. I don't know, do they provide any technology to businesses? Or
I don't think so. It looks like they mostly just support the adoption of the technology.
Yeah, so
and any other innovation.
They could advise on what kind of technology you could be using and make sure people are using the right kind of technology, not something that's not working for them.
Yeah, exactly.
But I mean, that's not very free market, is it, to force people to use particular legal technologies? It's like, this is our list of approved legal technologies.
I mean, if they know that it's the best, those legal technologies that they advise on are the best ones, then...
Yeah, but the best isn't the most cost effective from a business's point of view, is it? So it could be expensive.
True. I mean, well, yeah, if it's very expensive, then it doesn't seem very efficient in some cases.
I guess if they just list all the technology that's available for solicitor, if the solicitors come to their website, they've got a list of all the technologies, and they've got these are higher cost ones, these are lower cost ones. That would just be helping people out with making them aware of it. That'd be more helpful. The third one is helping everybody to understand, so the users of legal services and the providers of the legal services, helping them be aware of each other's emerging opportunities and challenges. So is that like business opportunities or just...
I think it's
new services.
It's probably mostly business opportunities, most likely. But yeah, it probably does include business and...
So the users of the legal services, I guess they're giving them... trying to make them aware of the legal services that are available for them. Yeah. Alright, well... It's always hard these SRA news releases are quite hard to go through, but I think that one's okay.
Yeah, I think we've done that well. This next one, moving on, is from the BBC. So this one is about the coronavirus. It says the coronavirus support is not open to firms like mine. And who's this person who we're talking about? It's Humphrey Cobbold, who runs the Pure Gym, which employs more than 1,500 people.
Yeah, this isn't really about law, but it's just generally about how firms will cope with the coronavirus and whether the government's really going to provide them much support. This guy runs a fairly large business, and he obviously isn't going to be eligible for any help. And I mean, it's not really worth spending your time trying to get handouts from the government if you can just try to keep going. But it's often annoying when there's this money available but you don't really know how to get it, or I know a lot of the government schemes are automatically paid out this time. It can be annoying if you don't fit into the boxes. If they say, oh, you're too small, or you're too large, or you haven't got any premises, you work at home, or your premises aren't eligible for the help. Trying to get through all these loopholes of government handouts, it's impossible.
Yeah, he's probably in a bit of a bad spot though, because gyms will probably be forced to close, or if they're allowed to remain open, they probably won't be open for very long, because
people are dripping sweat everywhere, aren't they? So you can't really keep it clean. You'd have to have very few people in there.
Gyms themselves, there's fungus sometimes, and there's things everywhere. So, like, someone with coronavirus who doesn't really realize they have it, because it apparently stays dormant for a bit, doesn't it? It takes, I think it's either 3 days or a week. I'm not sure on the info, because it seems a bit mixed up. I'm not sure, because I've read various places it's either this or the other.
Yeah, I saw a thing that said it was a week to incubate, and then it shows, but within 2 weeks you will have got it fully or got over it.
Yeah, so I guess it's either so it's around a week. Let's say if you have it already and you don't realize, and it's the first week, and you have no symptoms, you decide to go to the gym. Well, obviously, that's how you will contage a lot of people. Most likely. So yeah, again, as I was saying, gyms will probably be forced to close down because of the lack of clients, and also because maybe they even, made to close down. I'm not sure. And obviously, 1,500 people who are working there, it's not. Or maybe, I don't think 1,500 people work at the same gym, do they? It must be a massive gym if they do.
This man, Raghu Kodakandala, has to close all 7 of his restaurants because he says he can't continue as a takeaway. Because a lot of places have just opened as takeaways, haven't they? Yeah,
they have. I think that's probably the best way to deal with this in some sense. Other sense is just closing and waiting for it to pass, I guess.
But it's you can't really just lay off your staff, can you? That's what the government is saying. Don't just turn your back on your staff. Okay, let's move on.
Moving on. This next one is from the Daily Mail. We've got a couple from the Daily Mail. This one is, it says, Rightmove faces backlash from estate agents over fees holiday as UK property market grinds to a halt. Rightmove... I've forgotten. Rightmove is a big
online estate agent.
Yeah. It's a big online estate agent that allows you to list your... is it just your firm? No, it's not your firm. Is it actual properties?
Yeah,
you list properties. And they essentially, because of everything that's happening, they're offering a 75% discount to these estate agents for the next 4 months. But they're still receiving backlash.
It says here that the average estate agent spends over £1,000 a month to advertise on Rightmove. It's quite expensive, but I guess you've got to be on Rightmove because it is the biggest one. So Rightmove's offering a 75% discount, which seems pretty reasonable to me. They're only paying £200. But I guess that depends. If you're shutting down your estate agency, can you cancel your Rightmove subscription just for 1 month? You could shut down your estate agency for 3-4 months, depending on how long this lasts for.
Yeah.
and pay Rightmove nothing. But if you're planning to continue and Rightmove's giving you a 75% discount, I mean, assuming that you're still making some money, that seems fairly reasonable to me. But it says the agents are calling on the property listings website to do more.
Which means for what they're paying, they want more. Is that what that's saying? That they ask for more privileges or something from the website?
I mean, they want
paying.
support, but I guess they want Rightmove to waive the fees completely.
I don't know. I mean, even if it's trying times, Rightmove's not going to leave them their whole online service open for zero cost, are they? They could move to an ad.
Look, it says here, the estate agents have joined forces insisting the website offer the agents a choice between the 4-month discount or a tariff-free 3 months payment holiday. So basically 3 months free rather than a 4-month discount.
But
that actually amounts to the same thing. That's exactly the same, because if you reduce for 4 months to a quarter, you're basically giving them 3 months free.
Well, yeah, you're pretty much doing that, and then 3 months, and then you pay the fourth, the same amount. You essentially pay off the last 3 months. Well, no, not really. I mean, I guess you're starting again from the same price. But I don't know. It's just, again, Rightmove, I'm not sure if they had adverts on their website already, or if they solely depended on the money that they got from these estate agents, but you know, like
they're selling property listings. It's like anybody who's buying and selling a house goes to Rightmove.
Yeah.
And the properties listed there, and you can't list a property on there without paying Rightmove.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. I mean, Rightmove.
You're saying like Rightmove need to make money as well.
Yeah, essentially.
To keep providing the service.
Well, yeah. I mean, they could probably provide the service for 3 months for free, because they've probably gained money at this point that would allow them to do so. I mean, probably keeping up the website is not that hard. Probably doesn't cost too much, but I still believe they should, they should still charge. And they're even offering a 75% discount. Like, why would you go the extra step and say, hey, give it to us for free for 3 whole months? Like, they're not asking for 1, they're asking for 3. I feel like after maybe a month or a month and a half, maybe this could potentially be over, or it could be better, could have gotten better where the property market is starting its move again. So I feel like 3 months is a step too much, step too far. And also it says here that they are asking for the option between paying 75% off for 4 months or choosing the free option, as if like you could choose between one or the other. Like, that's not, everyone would just go for the free, wouldn't they? Doesn't make much sense.
Well, it's like I'm saying, it works out to exactly the same thing unless you got the 3 months free and then left the service, which would leave Rightmove completely out of pocket.
True, yeah.
But I was just looking at, there are competitors to Rightmove. They're not the only online estate agent. There's also Zoopla and On the Market, and they're saying that those services are offering better deals than Rightmove is. Rightmove is also saying that offering this 75% cut will hit their yearly revenues by 65 to 75 million in this financial year, which is quite a lot.
That is a lot, yeah. But
it also shows the Rightmove share price as being really high on this. Hang on a minute. Is that 1 day? Oh, actually, it's really low on a 1 month.
It's gone down by £200. Is that pounds?
No, well, it's the index, the share index.
It's gone down by 200 points.
That's probably the price per share, but we don't know how many shares have been issued, so it's not reflective.
I know, but the price has gone down, it's gone down.
Maybe that's pretty weird. It's pretty steep since Is that since the outbreak? It was going up, and it just went boom down.
Looks like it, yeah.
Everything's been hit, hasn't it?
Yeah, pretty much everything. Yeah, again, Rightmove, I don't know, considering how Rightmove are right now, the position they're in, they probably can't offer that free. Those 3 months, they probably need the even if it's 75%, they probably could take the cash, really.
I mean, they probably won't fire anybody now, but after 3 months, they might be looking to lay off staff, and it's not going to be good for anybody.
Yeah. Well, what can we do? Estate agents want it free, then we'll see how Rightmove responds to that. Moving on, this is an article, again by the Daily Mail, that is stating that the house price may fall by the general house price may fall by as much as 20% in the worst case scenario for a virus hit property market. That's what analysts warn.
I think that this could cause I mean, many people see us as being in a housing price bubble still, although I think the prices have adjusted over the last 20 years. They were high, and now I'd say they're sort of falling into the right kind of price, but based on a sort of average of a 4% increase per year. But yeah, I mean, this could... Yeah, another way of looking at it, it's like, okay, they could fall by 20%, but is everybody that hard up to, in order to like sell your house below market price, you must need to release some money, or, if it's an investment, if you don't live in the property, you only rent it out, you might want to sell it, but if you live in it, you haven't really got a choice.
No.
Unless you downgrade to another house. So, I just don't know. I don't know. It depends how bad the economy goes, I guess. People might have to move back in with their parents or something.
Well, I mean, I don't know. If you buy a house and now the price drops, it means that if you sell your house, you will get way less, 20% in theory. If it's the worst case scenario, you'll get 20% less than what the house would have cost you, or what you were thinking of getting for it. But you could still now, with that money, try and invest into a better house because they've all been hit, in theory. I don't know. Good
for first-time buyers, yeah.
Well, yeah, it is good for first-time buyers, because now maybe, I don't know, with everything, how loans are and everything, it just depends if this is only for the virus or if it's for...
I guess another thing that affects house prices is how much the bank is willing to lend people.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say as well. Maybe they aren't going to be lending people that much or as much at the moment. Well, they probably won't. Most likely won't.
Because someone could have their house up at 250, and then the bank says, I'm not lending you 250 for that. And then they say, I only lend you 200, and then whoever's selling it can't sell it. And then they have to keep dropping their price until it reaches what the bank's prepared to pay. But I don't know why would the banks be short of cash after the virus?
I don't know. I guess they just don't... Maybe they don't want to be loaning in case people haven't got the assets to...
People are losing their jobs.
Pay it back.
They're not going to
people are losing their jobs already. It's crazy. This coronavirus is hitting everyone in many different ways. It's sad. It's a shame.
So is that the house price, the rate of house price increase? So per month, it's rising at almost 1%. That's crazy, because generally house prices should rise at 4%, not 12% a year. So, but then, we've seen some negative growth. That's actually, this graph is over 3 years. I see. It's on a quarterly basis. So yeah, that's right, 4%. So generally, it should rise 1% per quarter of the year. Your house price.
Yeah.
And in May 2017, there was zero growth. February 2019, it was negative 0.5% growth. So we're not really seeing, over the last 3 years, probably, judging by that graph, I'm not sure, but I would say that house prices probably only risen about 5-6%, whereas it should have been, say, 12%. So it's pretty poor, isn't it?
Yeah.
But then why, if it hasn't been performing very well recently, why would it suddenly crash by 20%?
I don't know. I mean, this is not a sure thing, is it? It's a may fall. And then again, 20% is the worst case scenario. So we might only see something like 2, 5, 10%. Maybe 5 is the norm of how much it might drop. And then 20 in the worst case scenario.
I mean, from a conveyancing point of view, if people wanted to sell their properties, that'd be good in terms of trading volume. But if people just don't do anything, if they stagnate, then that's sort of bad for the market and bad for everybody, really.
Yeah. Let's hope it doesn't. Let's hope it does not. So this next one is, I think this is also something that we are sort of revisiting. It's about calling your bank before you cancel your mortgage payments. Borrowers warned that they could unwittingly end up in arrears and struggle to remortgage. So the reason why I say we are kind of revisiting this is because I think, we've already done it like maybe 2 times in a row now. We talked about how on a case-by-case basis, you could be given a holiday for your mortgage.
Yeah. Well, due to the coronavirus, some banks, some mortgage companies are offering payment holidays, saying that people can postpone their payment, their mortgage payment for, 1, 2, 3 months. But as you say, they are doing that on a case-by-case basis. So this article is basically warning you, don't just go and cancel your direct debit, because you really have to go and check with your mortgage company first. It's common sense to some, but to others, other people might read headlines and just go ahead and cancel their mortgage payment.
That's not good, and we hope it doesn't. There aren't that many people have done that. Hopefully more people think before they do. I
mean, we reported it, but we did mention, as we went through the article, we did read it is on a case-by-case basis. So
yeah, and we made that clear. I think we did explain it and everything. Like if they see that, if they maybe don't want to, they might not want to do it with you. I mean, it depends on different things.
Yeah, and it says if you miss a mortgage payment without permission from your mortgage company, it will affect your credit rating. So you might not be able to get a credit card, or borrow some extra money that you need for a car or a holiday or whatever. Okay, moving on to
The Guardian. We haven't done The Guardian till today, and this is a cool website as well. This article from The Guardian is about a UK estate agent who has been accused of inhumane sacking of his staff. So a woman claims that the staff at estate agents in Camberwell have not been told if they are getting paid.
Yeah, I guess this is another coronavirus article. I don't think any of them are really not coronavirus, but
at the moment, no.
Yeah, the government have been encouraging people, don't just dump your staff, try to retain them. Everybody's in the same boat. Although the government haven't really been clear about how they're going to achieve that, how they're going to pay anybody back. But this particular estate agent, I think it was a Hart estate agents in Camberwell. Amanda Haynes says she was given 2 minutes notice, and her other colleagues the same. Seems quite callous, yeah.
I mean, like this company, there might be many who might just be doing this because of the coronavirus, or maybe coronavirus has come. They're like, maybe some workers don't. Maybe they have problems, or they don't want to go to the company, or maybe some staff have actually gotten the coronavirus and they can't go to work, and this might have caused the employer to sack them. That would be like the worst case scenario, and that's what I think the government's trying for them not to do.
Well, I think it's also kind of unfair if you're running a business and you follow the government's guidance and you keep your staff, keep paying your staff, and then some people are like, I can win from this situation by quickly getting rid of all my staff and then saving the money. That kind of puts them at an advantage. The whole point is to maintain a level playing field, isn't it? But like I say, the government's a bit vague about what support they're really going to provide.
Yeah, if they made it clear, or maybe they don't know what they're going to do yet. Maybe they don't know what the help they can give is specifically, but hopefully they broadcast it, or they make it clear, and that'll make this sort of case not very apparent, we hope. Either way, moving on to the next article. This is by Legal Cheek. This is another website that we haven't done. This one is a nice, fun little website who has a good chunk of law articles, as well as articles on the SRA and such. It has an article here about don't let students sit exams at home, SRA tells law schools. So this is another one about the whole, if I'm not mistaken, this is about the lawyers and everything again, isn't it? The junior lawyers doing their exams. Now, sit exams at home, I'm going to guess that means doing their exams, online.
Yeah, this website, we haven't done this before. I recently bumped into this on Google News, and they got a nice active comments section. So get over to Legal Cheek if you're interested in getting more articles, more news. Yeah, I mean, it's the same as the previous Law Society Gazette article, but I just thought it was good that it was covered also by this publication.
Yeah, and here they are talking specifically about another thing, which is the internet exams. So it's the same, but here they are talking strictly and specifically about the internet exams, and we see here that they don't want the SRA don't want exams being done at the house on the internet. Yeah,
they're the ones that are not allowing it. I'm sure the law schools can deal with it, deal with doing the assessments online, but for some reason the SRA doesn't want to do it.
They're prohibiting it. So this is our second to last article. It's on Legal Futures, and it's about MPs back Davies as new legal ombudsman chair. So
it seems we've got a new head of the ombudsman, legal ombudsman. Looking at this, well, she was appointed by the MPs on the Justice Select Committee, and one thing I found interesting is that she has 6 other roles, How does she have time to do all this stuff? She's
Yeah, it's
independent
crazy.
chair of the General Pharmaceutical Council's Assurance and Appointments Committee, senior independent director of the Parliamentary and Health Service Ombudsman, member of the Civil Justice Council, chair of the Prison Education Trust, a member of the Independent Review of Legal Services Regulation Advisory Panel, deputy chair of Support Through Court, formerly the Personal Support Unit. Like, seems she's probably got a pretty full diary.
Crazy, yeah. That's insane.
Also, it says
Yeah, she will be paid.
Just for doing this role, she will get £52,500 a year just for 60 days a year, which equates to roughly 300,000 a year for that role.
That is crazy.
So it's pretty good if you can get it.
Yeah. That's insane. Last but not least, here we come again with the Country Life lovely house that we do every single week. This week's house is a picture-perfect thatched cottage under 500 grand, which is one of the cheapest luxury houses I think we've done yet, with views over the village green and duck pond. So this is a very, I think it's a very spacious house again. It's, like I just said, a thatched cottage. It's also got a sort of a greenhouse on the...
It's a conservatory.
Oh, it's a conservatory, okay.
It's kind of like a lounge where you can sit with the glass above your head, get sunlight during the day. I guess it's better for the winter months.
Look, I can see plants in there. That's why I thought it was some sort of a greenhouse. But they could, you can always decorate it with plants on the inside anyway. That's what a lot of people do.
It's a very well maintained garden, isn't it?
Yeah, I was gonna say it looks very, very well maintained. The grass is very, very level, as well as the that little bush over there. It's very round. They've cut it very nicely.
I'm not a massive fan of thatched cottages. I do think they look nice in the countryside, but I kind of wouldn't want to buy one myself because thatched for me is high maintenance. I mean, I know you probably get grants from the government to maintain them because it's sort of part of English heritage. But I've been to them and sometimes it smells a bit funny. Maybe that's if it needs replacing. And also they're very hot inside. It's a very good insulator. Can be like really hot in there and dry.
Yeah.
Plus it's a bit of a fire risk.
Oh, well.
Well, I imagine it's a fire risk. Maybe these days they have modern treatments that make it a bit safer, but I mean, ideally, these old places, they're all made of wood anyway, aren't they? So you're probably going to be... So where is this place?
I don't think we actually saw it. Salisbury. Okay.
Cathedral City. Is that's not where that Novichok incident was, where those Russians released some poison or something?
I'm not sure. I don't think I know of that, Novichok.
There's another view of the house with the conservatory there and tables and chairs there.
It's from the garden. The garden again looks kind of this looks like a spacious outside little bit here. This garden. The chairs look very nice. Looks nice to sit, I mean, to be in the sun for a bit.
Lovely bright living room, like light bright carpet. Everything white walls.
Furniture looks very high quality.
It's very unusual. The beams on the ceiling have been painted white, whereas normally I'd expect them to be wood.
Yeah, they usually they're not painted, are they? They just left their natural colour, which I think looks nice most of the time. But in this case, it doesn't look bad at all. In fact, that wood in the back there that's been painted black. Is that wood at all? Is that wood? That probably is wood.
Yeah, it will be wood.
Yeah, that's obviously been painted as well. So we've got a mix of people painting their wood black and white here.
There's lovely big stones by the fireplace. That's around here.
That is a massive fireplace, isn't it? It's got like a
hood,
like a bell. Yeah, a bell as well. If I think it's called a bell for the smoke to go out. That's really nice.
The sofa looks modern and comfortable, but the other furniture kind of looks a bit dated. But it is still nice. It'd still be nice to sit.
It looks very clean as well. It looks very washed, for so to say. It looks like it's not been used in a while, actually.
It looks like there's no TV here, but in the old days they used to keep the TV in this kind of cabinet, so maybe there's a TV inside there.
Yeah, that is one of these big cabinets. It's got 2 larger compartments on the top and then smaller drawer on the bottom. This is a dining room, isn't it? This dining room also hooks up to the conservatory. Yes, I forgot the name again. The conservatory. Conservatory looks nice. They've got a couple plastic chairs in there with their nice little pillows. And then again, this dining room looks very packed with stuff, I'm going to say. It looks like it's really, really full. You've got plants on practically every surface. On top of the doorway that goes to conservatory, you've got a bunch of plates. Looks like a glass vase. And then the window has its own plants.
Well, they must be keen gardeners, no?
Yeah, I really like those windows too, rounded ones.
Everything's very bright, like white carpet. You wouldn't want to stain it up, come in muddy boots or whatever.
Yeah, which is another point in their favour, because it looks like they are big on whoever's living here already. I'm going to guess is big on gardening, and they don't have a spot of mud on any shot of this carpet. This is crazy. Unless they always have it, maintained and cleaned.
Yeah, I love these old wooden doors with they have a latch rather than a door handle, and they don't really fit that well, and it's quite kind of barn door sort of.
Yeah.
But I also imagine a house like this, because people used to be shorter in the old days, probably hit your head on the tops of the doors.
Yeah, you probably will. This is wow. So the kitchen is extremely modern, or it feels like it's very modern. It's got very. So first of all, obviously there's no carpet here. I see a very nice floor with this very typical pattern, but it looks very nice. The wood and every single thing on the kitchen looks brand new. Everything. It looks like it's been put not long ago.
Doesn't really fit with the rest, does it?
It's a very different style. You take a shot of the kitchen, then you take a shot of any other part of the house, and you put them together, and you ask someone, "Do you think this is from the same house?" And they'd probably say no. And then I think this table that we have here for probably eating for a quick
it's a bit of a
meal or whatever
table, isn't it?
Yeah, I was going to say, it doesn't fit very well in this kitchen, does it?
It's okay. If you're in and out of the garden, it's probably quite practical.
Wait, is that 2 washing machines? They've got a washing machine
and a dryer,
next to it.
maybe.
Oh yeah, you're right. It might be.
There's plenty of space for all the appliances, but that one doesn't really fit with the rest of the kitchen. But there's a little pond in the back garden and some benches around it. This would be quite cool.
Wow,
to have your own pond.
This is very big. This is a very big garden. I was expecting less for what the price is supposedly.
Yeah, 500.
Below 500 grand, £500,000. It's got a nice little pond and everything. It'd be fun to have some sort of animals in there. Maybe you could have some frogs or some fish. Oh, here's the price, $4.99.
Yeah. Okay, well, that's the last article for today, and thanks again for tuning in. I hope that you're okay with the coronavirus and everything out there. Anybody that's listening, stay safe. Don't get yourself. Try not to get infected, because it's not going to be nice if you do. Stay at home, work from home if you can. And please subscribe if you want to keep getting news like this. Thanks again, Thomas, for joining in today.
My pleasure. It's always great to be on here. I hope you all have a very nice day, a very nice week. We'll see you next week. We are going to be doing a podcast every week. Don't forget, as Matthew said at the beginning and the end, tune in and subscribe. And we'll catch you next time.
Cheers. Thanks. Bye.
Bye.